So in this third video, we're going to talk about how we calculate payouts, how much a player wins when they bet any combination number. Okay, we talked about the odds earlier that each bet pays. We're going to go over that again, and then we'll look at some of the more common calculations. Okay, so we talked about it. You got straight up one chip on the number. You're going to get, and that number hits, player's going to get $35 or 35 to 1, excuse me, 35 to 1 for every chip that they've got on that number. This is a split covering two numbers. Either of those numbers come in, they're going to get 17 to 1 for every chip that they have here. Okay, so say they've got two chips here. And we're going to use the die as the marker, and 20 hits. They're going to get 17 to 1 for these two pieces. Okay, 17 times 2, 34. They're going to get 34 pieces for this. Okay? This is called a corner. It's locking these four numbers. Okay? Any of these four numbers comes in, it's going to pay 8 to 1. Okay? 8 to 1 for every piece. 8 to 1 for every piece. 8 to 1 for every piece, 8 to 1 for every piece there, okay? That four number combination, remember, when you're coming up to on a single zero, okay, this is a double zero, but pretend there's only one zero here, and they put this here on this top line. This is gonna cover 1, 2, 3, and that 1 0, okay, it's still a four number combination that pays the same as a corner, 8 to 1. On a double zero layout, remember, this top line is covering 5 numbers. Any of those 5 numbers comes in and pays 6 to 1. Okay? Coming back down here, this is called a street bet. They're covering these 3 numbers. Any one of these 3 numbers comes in, they're going to get 11 to 1 for every piece they've got here. Okay? So if they got 3 pieces here, and any of these 3 numbers comes in, they're going to get 33 pieces. Okay, 11 times 3 is 33. Street. Line bet. They're covering 6 numbers here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this line. Any of these 6 numbers hits, they're going to get 5 to 1 for every piece here. So any of these numbers hits, they're going to get 15 pieces for this bet here. Okay? So 35 to 1 on the straight up, 17 to 1 on the split, 8 to 1 on the corner, 5 to 1 on the line, 11 to 1 on the street, and 6 to 1 on a 5 bet top line, or 4 to 1 when it's only 1 0 up there. Okay? So now let's look at some of the combinations. Some people call them picture bets. Okay? There's different combinations of bets. Now, I honestly don't care how you get to the right answer. Just get to the right answer. I don't care if you look at this bet. Okay, so you got 20 hits, you got 2 straight up, 2 splits, 2 corners. Okay, I don't care if you get 120 of that by figuring 2 straight up is 70, plus 2 splits is 34. That's 104. Plus two corners is 16, that's 120. I don't care if you straight up did the math that way. Or you know that this is going to be 50. This combination times 2 is 25 times 2 is 50, plus 70 is 120. I don't care how you get there, but I'm going to go over how we get to each of these combinations right now. You should memorize. You're going to need to know your times tables for your 5 times table. So when you see that, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 12 is 60. Okay? You should know your 11 times table. 3 times 11 is 33. 8 times 11 is 88. 11 times 11, tricky one. If you have to do 110 plus 11 and 121, that's fine. Or you can just know that 11 times 11 is 121. Okay? 8 times 8, or your 8 times table for your corners. You should just know that 4 times 8 is 32. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 8 is 64. 10 times 8 is 80. 12 times 8, 96. You should know your 8 times table. Now, for any of these bets, if you memorize up to 6 times, you should be okay for pretty much anything. And that's especially important when it comes to your splits and straight ups. 100% you need to know your splits and your straight ups up to 6 off the top of your head automatically. You shouldn't even have to blink. You should look at and go 70, you should look at one piece, 35, 2, 70, 105, 140, 175, and 6 straight up is 210. You should just know that when you look upward in this and you see this, you should just know immediately that that's 210. Okay? It's going to pay 210 pieces. Okay? You notice I haven't said dollars because that's going to come up in the next video. Because this could be 210 singles, this could be 210 nickels, 210 quarters, or 210 black chips. Okay? You should be able to look at your splits and go 17, 34, 51, 68, 85, and 102. Memorize that. 17, 34, 51, 68, 85, and 6 splits is 102. You're going to see that a lot, especially this 6 splits. For some reason, it's a common bet. 6 splits is 102. But remember, 3 splits here and 3 splits here, when 20 hits, that's still 6 splits. You should still just look at that and know that's 102. Okay? Now we're going to start just doing straight up math. 2 splits and 2 straight ups. You just know 70. 35 times 2 is 70. Remember we talked about it. 35, 70, 105, 140. You know that's 70. You know that's 34. 70, 17, 34. So 70 and 34, 104. Just like that. You should be able to look at that and know 70 and 34 is 104. Okay? Other combinations you're going to see a lot. So you're going to see splits and straight ups. Know that every split and straight up is going to be 52. 52. 35 and 17, 52. Okay? Bet you'll see a lot. A split in a corner. 1 split in corner. 17 and 8 is 25. 17 and 8 is 25. So when you see this, you know that's 1 of each is 25, and there's 3 of them of each. You should know, look at this and know that when that hits, it's 75 pieces. Okay? Other combinations you see a lot, we call it Mickey Mouse. A split and 2 corners, 51. Okay, you're just going to know it's 35 and 2 corners at 6 is 16, 8 and 8. 35 and 16 is 51. So you're going to look at this and you're just going to automatically remember, hey, Mickey Mouse with the ears. Mickey Mouse is 51, automatically all the time. Another one you're going to see us a lot. Okay? A straight up and 2 splits. 2 splits and a straight up, 69. 2 splits is 34, and a straight up is 35. That's 69. You're just going to see it and you're going to know it. Obvious reasons, I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, you're going to, everyone, this is the first one that everybody memorizes. A split and 2 splits and a straight up is 69. Other combinations you're going to see a lot. 33. A split and 2 corners, 33. Okay? 66. When you see 2 of each. Okay? So those are some of the more frequent keys you're going to see a lot. Here's another one. 33. 35 and 8 is 33. A split and 2 corners, 33. A split and a corner, 25. A split and a straight up, 52. Mickey Mouse, 2 corners and a straight up, 51. I think we just did this one. Split and a corner is 25. 2 splits and a straight up, 69. Memorize this one. You'll see it a lot. A street and 2 lines, 21. You'll see it a lot. 21, memorize it. Okay? Obviously, a line and a line, 5 and 5, 10, super easy. Okay? Other things to look at is learn to train your eyes to see these patterns, not necessarily just like this. So if you see this, and this hits, 2 splits and 2 corners is still the same as this. 1 split and 1 corner is still 1 split and 1 corner, still 25. A split and a corner, still 25. So if you've got this, it's still 75. Okay? Learn to break it up. It's going to get a little more complicated now. You see that, and you see this. It's still 3 splits and 3 corners. It's still 75. It's still 3 of these. Okay? So learn to train your eyes to see those kinds of things. Okay? I'm going to go over a couple of little tricks to when you start to get into the bigger numbers. For your streets, your 11 times tables, for some reason, some people love to stack these up. You got 15 pieces here at 11 to 1. You can do 10 times 11 is 110, and 5 times 11 is 55. That's 110 plus 55 is 165. Or you can take, I'm going to get a piece of paper and a marker. Sorry about that unprofessional pause. Okay, so I'm going to write the math out for you here. You can see it here. So you got 15, okay, times 11. So there's your odds. Any 11 times table, you can take that 15, the 1 and the 5, add them together, it gives you 6. Stick that in the middle, 165. There's that payout. Let's do 18. 18 times 11. 1, 8. 1 plus 8 is 9. 198 is that payout. 18 streets is 198, okay? So that works with some of your bigger numbers. Even if I had 24 pieces here, okay? 24 pieces, 2 plus 4 is 6, 264 is the payout, okay? Super easy. Let's get into some of the ones on the straight ups. Let's do 14. 14 straight up, okay? 14 times 35 to 1. You can do 7 times 35. Well, 6 you know is 210, plus the odd one is 245. Double that to get that gives you 7. Double that to get to 14. 245. Let's go with 490. Okay. Or you can take that number 14 pieces. Half of that is 7. Take whatever you get there, multiply it by 7. That gives you 49. Add a 0. 490 is your payout. Let's do 18. 18 straight up. 18. Half of that is 9. 9 times 7, 63. Add the 0. 18 straight up pays 630. Okay? Know that when you get to a full stack, that's going to be super easy. 20 pieces. Okay? 20 times 35. What's 2 times 35? 70. Add that 0 back in there. 700. Why did I say add the 0 back in there? Okay. 20 pieces times 35. Take that 0 off of 20. 2 times 35 is 70. Add that 0 back on there. 700. Let's get into, I know these are different colors. Let's see if I have enough. We'll do 8 straight up. 8 split and 8 straight up. Okay? 8 times 35, 8 times 17. Okay? You take the number of pieces on one of those bets, cut it in half. So what's half of 8? 4. Take that number of pieces, 8 again, and double it. 16. There's your payout, 416. Okay, let's do the math. What's 8 times 35? Well, 8 times 6 is 210. You're still missing 2 pieces, which is 70. 210 plus 70 is 280. What's 17 splits? Well, we memorized 6 splits is 102. That leaves you 2 more. It's 34. 102 plus 34 is 136. What do we get? 416. Okay, so those are just a few little tricks. All right, you're gonna need to watch this video a whole bunch of times to go over those again, but those are the fundamental, some of the most basic keys and picture bets and tricks.